Baseball.
Yeah.
So once again, we'll start with a statement from you, Eric.
Well, I think it only seems fitting that our team would go to 3 games. That's just kind of been our MO here in all these rounds. Just seems like we're very comfortable in that spot, and after the game, just sensed a calmness of our team, and they're excited to play tomorrow. The big storyline tonight was Kumar Rocker. You know, he's as advertised. He's got a special breaking ball. It's tough to see. You know, you try to sit fastball, and he throws enough of those breaking balls for strikes. You try to sit on the breaking ball, and then he gets you with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. So, you know, I'm glad that the college game has players like that in it. The college game is better when guys like that come to school. And he was good tonight, and he had our number. We had some chances that we didn't cash in. We didn't get the two out RBIs tonight. But I thought our guys that we pieced this game together with, I thought, did a good job. And they scored an unearned run as a byproduct of an error. You know, we spike a couple of wild pitches that score 2 runs. But outside of that, the solo home run was really the one run that that they had really got into. But I thought the 6 guys that pitched did a fine job. Outside of the 2 walks and the 2 spiked fastballs for runs, all the other guys, 5 out of the 6 guys did pretty good. And no issues with them. Feel good about Carl Kaufman and Jeff Criswell for tomorrow. And again, feel good about the makeup of our team responding after a tough night. But again, tip of the cap to Kumar Rocker.
Okay, we'll open up for questions for the student athletes. Once again, identify yourself, your affiliation, and to whom you're directing the question. Kendall?
Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball. Jordan, what was kind of your assessment of Kumar, and just what makes him so difficult to hit?
Yeah, he, like Coach said, he hides his curveball really well. Once you sit on curveball, he's coming in with a 95-mile-per-hour fastball, either it's inside or outside. And, it's just hard to see, and it comes out of his hand really well.
Okay, over here on the left.
Dan Hoppin, Detroit News. For Jack, obviously not the result you wanted tonight, but you get to come back tomorrow. How much confidence does it give you having those 2 guys out on the mound that Coach just mentioned? They've both just been nails so far this postseason. How much confidence does that give you guys?
I think our whole team always has confidence no matter what happens, and we've been resilient all year. Those 2 guys coming in tomorrow have been great all year, so we have so much confidence in them, and it's going to be about how bad, which team wants it, how bad.
Okay, next question. Well, guys, I think I'll do it. We'll see you tomorrow night. Thank you. Thanks, Jordan. Thanks, Jack. Okay, open up for questions for Eric now. Okay, Adam.
Adam Sparks of Tennessee. And Eric, can you just talk about the decision to start Page, and did you feel like you were at your best tomorrow if you had both Kaufman and Criswell available?
Well, we have a lot of confidence in Isaiah Page. I mean, it wasn't just a random, his numbers are good, and he fills up the strike zone with 3 pitches. He did a nice job tonight, and the impetus for the decision to start Page was more the desire to have Jeff Criswell out of the pen in an extended role. We knew that if we got any kind of a lead in the middle innings, we were going to go right to Criswell. And instead of extending him in a start, which like we did at UCLA a couple of weeks ago, coming off of pitching an inning the night before, we felt like he would better serve our team finishing the game off. And so, there was a lot of deliberation, but at the end of the day, it just kind of got to a point where we said, this really is a no-brainer. We need Jeff at the back end of the game. And so, it didn't work out that way. We never got the lead, but he would have been ready to go had we have. But again, I feel very good about Isaiah Page for a redshirt freshman to go in there in that stage and fill up the strike zone with 3 pitches and show a lot of poise and command, and thought he did a nice job.
Okay, Mike?
Coach, Mike Patterson, Omaha World Herald. You touched on it a little bit about being in this position in the regional and the super regional. Just talk about being in that must-win situation one more time this season.
Yeah, that's the one positive of the Big Ten tournament, the regional round, the super regional round, and now this. We've been here. We've had a lot of repetitions with these types of games, and all the adversity that we faced in the last month, month and a half. It's just calloused our mind, and guys are very comfortable in these environments and in these spots. And I told the team, seems very fitting that this is going to come down to Game 3. Just that seems like how it should be with the storyline of this particular team with Team 153.
Aaron Fitt, D1 baseball coach. So you've got Kaufman coming back, was it 4 days rest, I think. I assume that's something he hasn't done a lot of in his career, but have you talked to him about how he's feeling and how much do you expect to get out of him tomorrow? And, what's your state of mind about Kaufman heading into tomorrow?
I haven't talked to him, but I'm sure in World Series final, Game 3, he's feeling pretty good. So I know he and Coach Fetter have had those conversations, and that's been the plan all along. Is he's starting on Friday against Texas Tech, and if it went to Wednesday, he was going to be ready to go. So he's the one thing about Carl. He's older, he's mature, he knows how to take care of his body, and so he has done the things he needs to do from a workout standpoint and a recovery standpoint to get his body and himself ready to go on 4 days rest and pitch on the 5th day.
Steve?
Steve Kornacki, mgoblue.com. Eric, I apologize if you've already addressed Jordan Wogu's injury, but if you could talk about that, and also what are your thoughts on who might bat leadoff tomorrow with Jordan looking like he's for sure out, and if you're going to stick with Dominic in the DH spot?
Yeah, Wogu, he felt his quad pull when he was running, and he was tough for him to put pressure on it, and the doc that evaluated him said he had a quad strain. So I would guess with the way he was, coming off the field, that would be a tough assignment to be ready to go in 24 hours. But we've been in this position. We've multiple times in the year. Wogu's been out, Franklin's been out, Brewer's been out. So, we've had a lot of guys step up and get opportunities. Dom could be a guy that we could run back out there, but, probably leaning towards a guy like Riley Bertram, who's been a spark throughout this postseason. A guy like Miles Lewis could do it and has done it all year. He's got 200 and something at-bats and 16 doubles and had a lot of clutch hits. So I think what we'll do is watch a lot of film tonight and tomorrow and just see the matchup with Hickman and what seems to fit best, whether it's a right-hander like Miles Lewis or switch hitter like Bertram or just a left-hander like Dominic, and make a decision between one of those 3 guys.
And then leadoff would maybe Jack Blomgren go there. Have you given that much thought? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I like the flow of our lineup, so a thought would be to just bump everybody up one. We've had a KO shift up a time or two, but I like the order and the way it goes, so we may just bump everybody up, and whoever's DHing could hit in the 9-hole.
Okay, Adam?
Do you know much about Mason Hickman at this point, and was it a plus that you got Tyler Brown to throw 40 pitches against you?
I just remember Mason Hickman from the recruiting process. He's a Mount Juliet kid, right? Isn't that right? Hendersonville, yeah. Well, same thing. It's right there. Okay. But yeah, he was always three-pitch command. I was always very impressed with him in high school. And, I obviously follow Vanderbilt very closely. So, follow, all their games and all their success, and saw how well he did when he pitched as kind of their fourth starter this year. And now that he's moved into the three-hole or the rotation, he's got great numbers. And, he does a really good job of pounding the zone with three pitches. So we'll have our work cut out for us tomorrow, that's for sure. I'm sure Tyler Brown will have no issues coming back tomorrow, even though he threw 40 pitches, just knowing that kid and what he's all about and his makeup and his story. So I don't think 40 pitches is going to be a deterrent to come back tomorrow. But he's got really good stuff, as does their whole pitching staff.
Okay, we have time for one more question. Ryan?
Coach Ryan McGee from ESPN, how much of your job over the next 24 hours is going to be sports psychologist, reading faces, and are we going to be ready? Or at this point in the season, you don't worry about those things?
Well, I just read their faces in the dugout, and they were smiling, and they were, this is a bounce-back team. I mean, we've had so many bouts of adversity where we've been knocked down that, tonight doesn't – I didn't sense that, they were totally bummed out and going to come into tomorrow – still dragging their feet. They walked out of here with their head high. They know that once we hit the pillow tonight, this one is over. And are you kidding me? You got a chance to play again tomorrow, and we'll just have to play better. We had chances today, and I thought we could have competed a little bit better in certain spots. Thought we had some backwards Ks, got caught guessing. But I would be shocked if we didn't come out tomorrow with our best energy and all the things that have allowed us to play well up to this point.
Eric, thank you.
Okay,
See you
thanks,
tomorrow
guys.
night.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, once again, if you're just with us, please turn off your cell phones, all the other stuff. We'll start with a comment from Tim, and then we'll open it up for questions for the student athletes. Tim?
Well, I just think it was a very protective moment, and we had the right guy on the mound, and was asked a lot of questions about him prior to today, and the thing that I knew that he would give us is compete. There's no doubt in my mind. I haven't been around him that long, but I know the fibers of the kid. I know how he's directed. I know how he thinks. I know how he attacks, and I felt like we had a chance today with him on the mound, as I do with all of them. But it was just one of those situations that you're asking a young man to come into a situation that he has been in before, and he did a very nice job, especially in the third and fourth when it got a little bit tough. Second and third, 1 out, second and third, 2 outs, and he took off some good hitters. So he got us deep into that ball game. Tyler, again, finished well for us. Offense, it was tough to come by early. I thought we swung the bat better late. Phil's hit was certainly a large one for us, just to spread the lead going into the final inning. Played some pretty good defense. There was some tough balls that we took care of. Certainly Harrison's play there at the end, but we take it and move forward.
Okay, we'll start questions for the student athletes. Once again, identify yourself and we will get a mic to you.
Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball. Philip is a guy who's sat back there and watched Kumar throughout this postseason run. What goes through your mind when you just watch a guy with stuff like that just over and over and over?
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. But I would say the main thing is it's comforting as our team to have a freshman that can do what he does on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. It gives us, the energy we need, especially on a day like today.
Okay, Matt.
Matt DeMarinis, White and Blue Review. This is for Kumar. 2 out of the last 3 starts for you have come with your team season on the line. Did you approach those outings any different from a mental standpoint, just to go to a new, different level?
No, first one, whenever it comes to that and I'm worried about it, I just think about my team and I think about, they're going to hit. They got me if I fail.
Adam.
Adam Sparks, Tennessee, and Philip. We see sometimes that you're really emotional and Kumar's kind of a cool customer. Other times he's pumping his fist. What type of emotions does he have during the game, and what does that tell you about how he's pitching?
He's emotional when he needs to be, and in other times he's not. So I think that it just shows, how strong his mind is, and especially for a freshman, how mature he is. Sometimes I try to get him going, and sometimes he's already there.
Way to the left.
Max Hers, 102.5 the game. For Kumar to get out of those 2 innings with the 2 guys in scoring position, what did it take to get out of those, especially to throw the 2 sliders against Franklin there the first time?
I remember looking back my past times the runners on third. I needed good defense behind me, and I needed to make pitches because the past times I think I've let that runner in every time with 2 outs. So that was a big moment for me.
Okay, here in the back, Teddy.
Teddy Cahill, Baseball America. Kumar, when Tyler got out of that 7th for you, you were pretty quick out of the dugout to congratulate him. Just what was that like, seeing him finish it off, and then what he did the next couple innings?
That was something we talked about last night. We woke up thinking about each other, and we knew what our plan was going into the game, and he was with it and I was with it. But I picked him up right when I got taken out of the game. He knew what the deal was.
Okay, any more questions for the student athletes? Yeah, Max, once again.
For Kumar, just for your freshman year to end here and have the ups and downs it had, but to not only have the last 3 starts be so good, but to end it in Omaha, what does it mean to you?
I think it made me a better person in general. I remember when I couldn't get through that first inning against TCU. I remember Tennessee. I remember those days like they were yesterday. And to finish here with this team it's awesome.
Okay, yeah, this will be the last question for the student athletes.
Joe Rexler from the Tennessee. And Kumar, tonight seemed like you were starting some hitters with the changeup. How important was that pitch for you, especially early in the game?
Gosh, yeah, I didn't throw it. I didn't throw one changeup. I think, let's go with slider. I think landing the slider early in the count is a big thing for hitters in general.
Okay, guys, thank you. See you tomorrow night. Okay, we'll open it up for questions for Tim, and we'll start with Kendall.
Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball. Tim, as you watch Kumar do what he's done throughout the postseason, have you ever seen a freshman that poised in that big of a situation? And what do you kind of attribute that to?
I haven't, because I don't think we've had a freshman in that situation before. I attribute it to his maturity and how he prepares. That was the one thing that stood out with me when I was talking to Brownie about him down in the pitching lab in October. He said the kid takes initiative of everything he's doing. He's a director. He's not an actor. You don't have to tell him what to do. There's a clear difference. He directs himself. When he's coached, he doesn't sit there and just you. He asks. He's curious. He asks good questions. He's a sponge. I just see a kid that wants to really learn and wants to really, really be good. He wants to be special, and he's got a chance to because he pitches for his team. He said that, but that's not manufactured. That's a real feeling.
Adam.
Tim, both you and Eric have talked about being loose and your guys having fun in Omaha, but tomorrow's a pretty tense game. Do you want your guys to enjoy? Do you think they will enjoy tomorrow's game?
Well, it's easy to sit up here and say yes right now. I mean, they'll do the best job they can to stay consistent with what they've done during the course of the year. I understand the situation. They understand the situation. Eric and his team does too. But they'll put themselves in a good position to compete well tomorrow.
You're up here.
Simon Gibbs, Vanderbilt Hustler. Coach, Tyler Brown went 2 2/3 tonight. Do you see tomorrow him being of as much use, or do you think you're going to be able to limit him a little bit more than you did tonight?
Everyone who steps in that dugout tomorrow will be in use or can be ready to play. Yep.
Okay, back here.
Chris Lee, Vandy Sports. Tim, Kumar at times was throwing the breaking ball 79-80, which is a little lower than he normally sits with that. Was that intentional maybe to take a little something off that tonight, or has he done that before?
No. Is that the radar gun on the scoreboard? Yeah, I don't trust that. I mean, he's throwing well. If he's missing a bat, I could say 68. It doesn't matter. It's a good pitch.
Okay, up here front.
Max Schneider, Vanderbilt Hustler. Tim, 4 runs today, but a lot of hard hit balls, a lot of deep flyouts. What did you think of the team's offensive output?
Better. I thought early we were squeezing it. We were. It reminded me of the Duke second game, to be honest with you. We were fighting to get some offense, leaving the zone, couldn't get to the middle of the ball, and chasing some off-speed pitches that were off the plate. So, you can't fault kids for that because they're just trying to compete and they're trying to win for their team. But I thought we settled in a little bit better as the game went along, and we took the runs that happened to that were given to us. But at the same time, I thought we hit the ball better from the 5th inning on after Clarkie hit that home run. Actually.
Okay, more questions for Tim? Okay, Joe.
Just on Tyler, Tim, when you obviously have a game tomorrow if you get through this, do you think in terms of just win this game, that's it, whatever it takes, use him as much as needed, or do you think in terms of how much can I use him tonight if we're playing tomorrow, if that makes sense?
Well, there's no tomorrow without tonight, and you have to do whatever is possible within tonight. But tomorrow's a different deal. I mean, you get to tomorrow and understand it's the last game of your season. There's no turning back. I mean, everyone from an adrenaline standpoint is going to be ready to go. I don't think there's going to be any surprise from a readiness standpoint.
Okay, Ryan.
Ryan McGee, ESPN. Coach, to that point, I ask coaches this every year when we're in a game 3. How much of your job over the next 24 hours might be as a sports psychologist? Like, just do you have to worry about that with this group, or do they take care of themselves?
No, I don't worry about this group. I haven't worried about this group all year. They're that middle child that you don't discipline, you don't give a curfew to, you don't do anything to, and they give you no reason to worry. Now, in competition, yeah, I mean, it's just being able to settle in and relax and play. But no, I don't worry about that. I don't.
Right here.
Steve Lehman, News Channel 5, Nashville. Tim, you've talked a lot about the maturity of this team and keeping focus on everything. How excited are you to just watch them play this game tomorrow night with something, like I said, it went unspoken, but this was always the goal. How excited are you just to watch them tomorrow?
Well, I always feel that way. I mean, once we get to the field or once we get on the bus, I don't talk to them again. All the talking that I do with them is in a hotel or in a classroom when we're back in Nashville. But once they get on that bus, that's theirs. It's theirs, and it's theirs to enjoy. I never want to get in their way. So I'll be just as excited as I was today. I just couldn't wait to play this game again. I know they couldn't either. But yeah, tomorrow will be fun. We're excited that we can be part of this. This is a great event, and I think a lot of times when I'm in the outfield, just walking around, you have to squeeze yourself to say, we've been in this place for 13, 14 days. What a special feeling this is, and I'm just very happy that these guys get the opportunity to do it because it's so difficult to get out here, and yet so difficult to be playing tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening as well.
Okay, any more questions for Tim? Well, that's it. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.